The Grind Waterfowl TV is brought to you by Dakota Decoy, premium gunning decoys for demanding hunters. Lucky Duck, masters of deception. Kent Cartridge, quality matters and performance counts. Mud Buddy, the king of mud motors. Excel, the boat to own. Cornerstone Gun Dog Academy, the most accessible online retriever training program. Yoder Smokers, handcrafted in the heartland. Rig 'em Right Waterfowl, the industry leader in specialty waterfowl products. Onyx Hunt, know where you stand. Benelli, simply perfect. Cowboy's Wild Game Washer, as clean as you can get 'em. And these fine sponsors.
This week on The Grind, Bill and Luke continue their hunt with Brian and Ben of Prairie Limits Outfitters. With time running out before the snows make the final push to the breeding grounds, everyone is excited to get in one last hunt before the long wait for fall.
There's 40. You can't kill them inside there. Go home.
We're on our third morning here with Ben Webster and Brian Kramer at Prairie Limits Outfitters, and we got up this morning. We had a nice little rain last night, which is good. We need these potholes to fill up, but little sticky out here this morning. Not too bad. We're still able to drive into the field, but we've got no wind today. I think we're supposed to have a little bit of sun. Right now it's overcast, but that's fine. These birds they're doing it anyway. They found a nice little feed out here. A little different decoy setup with no wind. We're doing almost like a little donut, almost like Ben's lesser spread. We're going to try and pull them right into the hole. With no wind, we're going to run a Lucky Duck flocker this morning. We're just going to run one rotary machine. These birds are sitting. You know, we're killing them as they're hitting the ground. So we're going to try the motion. We may end up pulling it down. These birds are, I mean, we aren't hitting migrating birds. These are feeding birds. So we're going to run it though. It's an awesome new unit. It also has a water base, which I'm really excited about to try this fall in the marsh. So we're getting set up. It's been unbelievable here. You know, Ben never disappoints you. These guys got more birds. It's crazy. They're scattered everywhere, but they find the feeds. And I think we're on, I don't know, we killed 150 the first day, 120 or 115 yesterday. We're gonna do one more time, our last hunt. Then Ben and Cody are heading home. Me and Luke may stay and hunt. We'll see what happens. This must be a different blind than I had yesterday. That board's a little higher on my back. That does feel kind of good. Fair catch. So we were getting a little nervous on day two. The first three groups of geese didn't act like they were the day before. Ben was getting a little nervous. We had geese going by us high, headed north. The wind had finally died down. They'd been having big north winds. Ben knew where our geese were going to come from. They were going to come basically from behind us, and they started coming from behind. And those were the geese that had been in that field, and they started acting just like they had the day before. I waited too because I pulled on a goose here, Luke dropped it. Pulled on a goose over here, someone dropped it. So I finally found a blue up there. I'm with you, Brian. I was shooting dead birds there. Well, we're just getting rolling here on our last day at Prairie Limits Outfitters, and we have no wind. And they've had a nice little feed in here. What is really cool about these birds, like in South Dakota, we're hunting migrating birds, trying to pull them down. These birds are feeding, so they're hitting the ground. Right now we have really zero wind. We're sitting, our hide's not the ultimate hide. But it's really cool to watch these birds because they're coming from all directions. They're sitting, they're hitting the ground. Just got to be patient. We'll get them. If we had about a 10-mile-an-hour wind, we'd really pile them up. But it's fun to watch them. I mean, they just act different than they do in the States. These birds hit the ground. They are trying to feed. Oh, good shot. So different, these birds.
And now they can't get out.
They can't get out. They can't get out. And plus we've got them coming both ways. They're running into each other.
Yeah, we got geese floating all over us.
There we go, boys. Missed it. How did I miss that bird? Did you see that last miss? Luke and I have been talking after day one when we hunted here, how fat these birds are. I mean, they're so fat that their bellies jiggle. They hit the ground, sometimes they split open. So what we've done, we were shooting deuces the first day, and we've gone to ones. Yesterday we went to ones. Kent won fast deal. And we just noticed it hits them a little harder. I normally shoot deuces at snow geese, but because of the fat content, how big these birds are, I think the ones are smacking them a little harder. But my favorite new goose load is a Kent 1. Right now I've got a Carlson mid-range choke tube in. I didn't bring my choke tubes or I'd go to a close range because these birds we're coming up to shoot about 15 yards, but it smacks them, having fun.
Hey, I'm Josh, and this is your training tip. So when it comes to retriever puppies or having a waterfowl retriever, one of the first questions that everybody asks, well, what is the most important thing that I can do with my puppy to make sure that it reaches its potential and can become all that it can be? And you know, a lot of the first things that come to mind are maybe some retrieving, maybe obedience, maybe things like that. But the number one thing that you can do is connect with your pup, hang out with your pup, and the way I like to do that is just take them on a walk. I try to find a place where you can take your dog, walk around with them, and here's what you do. You don't try to make them do everything perfect. All you try to do is interact with them. Let them explore a little bit. Puppies are naturally curious. They're gonna wanna check things out. They're gonna wanna smell things. And at that point, what do? You let them do it. Then, when your pup decides to come back to you, because that's what they like to do, is they like to come back in and check in with their owners, you call them to you and you say, good dog, and you pet them and you love on them and you just build that bond. If you do nothing else but start there, that is going to be a game changer for you, and it's going to really set you and your puppy's training off on the right foot. Hope you enjoyed this training tip. Now back to the grind.
All right, we were doing an experimenting with the flapper. That's 6.
Maybe. That's the worst.
I'm going to take
performance.
you to the lodge. I'm going to tuck you in bed. And put you to sleep. Shut the lights off. You're done.
Can I have a couple White Claws first? Well, we're wrapping up our last hunt here at Prairie Limits Outfitters with Ben and Brian, and it was a little different day. It was a great hunt. I think we ended up with 50-some birds. We started off the morning with 0 wind. We had birds coming over the top of us from all directions. And when I say coming over the top, it's not South Dakota over the top. They're coming over us at 10 yards. Great shoot, great hunt, great birds. Terrible shooting on my part. I'm embarrassed. Worst I've ever shot, I'm not gonna lie. Brian says I need more sleep, probably do. So we're gonna get wrapped up. We got the camera crew has to head for the airport. We gotta do some COVID testing, believe it or not. So we're gonna call it a little early, head back to the lodge, have some breakfast, get cleaned up, get the boys on the road. I think Luke and myself might stay an extra day. Yet to be determined, but I'm feeling pretty good about it. So.
With season 11 of The Grind coming to a close, everyone from the team is thankful for the memorable hunts with friends new and old. As anyone who hunts knows, relationships with great people and lots of laughs in the blind are a big part of why we do what we do. We look forward to bringing you season 12 with even more great stories from the road as we chase the migration south and hopefully fill a limit or two along the way.